have you ever stood at the precipice of loss, feeling the ground crumble beneath your feet, convinced that the end of one chapter meant the cessation of your entire story? We've all been there, haven't we? That moment when a cherished dream shatters, a familiar path vanishes, or a beloved presence departs, leaving behind an echoing void. It's in those moments of profound desolation that we often forget a fundamental truth, that sometimes what feels like an ending is merely a beginning in disguise. A painful but necessary turning point guiding us towards something infinitely better. Today, I want to share a tale that embodies this very essence, a story of resilience, hope, and the unexpected grace found on the other side of devastation. Our story begins high above a quiet, forgotten village, nestled within the sturdy, weathered belfry of an ancient church. This was the home of a tiny sparrow named Pip. Pip was a meticulous architect, and with boundless dedication, she had woven a snug, intricate nest deep inside the hollow of the church's grand old bell. For months, it had been her sanctuary, a haven of warmth and safety, shielded from the harsh winds and prying eyes of predators. Every twig, every feather, every strand of moss was a testament to her hopes and dreams. A fortress built for comfort and the promise of a peaceful future. She loved the quiet solitude of the belfry, the cool, still air, and the comforting sense of permanence her unique home offered. She truly believed she had found her forever place, a perfect, unshakable world within the heart of the bell. But time, as it always does, marched on one crisp morning. As the sun began to paint the sky with hues of rose and gold, an unfamiliar tremor shook Pip's world. A low, resonant hum began to vibrate through her delicate nest, growing in intensity until it became a deafening, thunderous clang. The ancient bell, dormant for decades, had been called to life by the village's eager hands, celebrating a momentous occasion. Pip, startled and terrified, clung desperately to the vibrating twigs as her meticulously crafted home began to unravel. The powerful vibrations, meant to send sound across the valleys, became a destructive force, tearing apart the very fabric of her existence. Twigs splintered, feathers scattered, and with one final, violent swing, the entire nest was ripped from its perch, plummeting to the stone floor below in a chaotic explosion of debris. Pip, disoriented and heartbroken, fairly escaped, fluttering wildly out of the bell tower, her tiny heart pounding like a drum. She flew aimlessly, propelled by sheer terror, until she found herself far from the familiar belfry, utterly alone in a world that suddenly felt vast and menacing. Her home, her sanctuary, her entire life was gone. The shock of it was paralyzing. She felt a profound emptiness, a raw, aching void where her sense of security once resided. For days, she wandered, a tiny speck of sorrow against the immense sky, battling not just hunger and exhaustion, but a crushing despair that threatened to extinguish her spirit. Every tree looked the same. Every branch felt alien, and the memory of her lost nest haunted her every beat of her wings. She felt like giving up, like simply landing on a desolate branch and letting the elements claim her. What was the point of flying if there was no home to return to, no safe place to rest her weary head? Yet, even in her deepest moments of desolation, a faint, persistent whisper stirred within her. It wasn't a loud command, but a gentle, unwavering nudge, an inner voice that urged her to keep moving, to keep searching, to believe that there was something more, something beyond this immediate pain. It was the primal instinct of life itself, refusing to surrender. With each agonizing flutter, she pushed past the fatigue, past the fear, past the gnawing ache of loss. She didn't know where she was going, only that she couldn't stay where she was. She followed faint currents of air, listened to the distant calls of other birds, and allowed an unseen force to guide her, one hesitant, hopeful flight at a time. Her resilience, born from necessity, slowly began to rekindle a spark of determination. Days turned into weeks, and Pip's journey, though arduous, slowly carried her further than she had ever dared to venture before. Then, one afternoon, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across unfamiliar hills, she saw it, a vibrant, verdant canopy unlike anything she had ever witnessed. It was a secret forest, hidden from human eyes, teeming with life and an abundance she couldn't have imagined. As she descended, she was greeted by a symphony of chirps and rustles, the sweet scent of exotic blossoms and the sight of berries glistening on every bush. Crystal clear streams meandered through lush undergrowth, and towering trees offered countless nooks and crannies, perfect for nesting. This wasn't just a forest. It was a paradise, a vibrant, thriving ecosystem, far richer and more diverse than her old, solitary belfry. Here, she found not just a place to rebuild, but a community of other sparrows, endless food sources, and an expansive freedom that dwarfed the confined safety of her previous home. As Pip began to weave a new nest, this time among the strong, leafy branches of an ancient oak, a profound realization dawned upon her. Her old home, while once a source of comfort, had been limited, isolated, a single point of safety in a vast, unexplored world. The very bell that had so violently destroyed her nest, that had shattered her sense of security, was also the instrument that had, in its own jarring way, set her free. It had forced her out of her comfort zone, compelling her to embark on a journey that ultimately led her to this spectacular, abundant paradise. The pain of loss had been immense, almost unbearable. But it had been the necessary catalyst for her to discover a life far beyond her wildest dreams. The bells ringing, once a sound of devastation, now echoed in her memory as a call to a greater destiny. And so it is with our own lives, isn't it? We too build our nests, our homes, our careers, our relationships, our identities, sometimes within structures that feel safe and permanent, yet unknowingly limit our potential. When these nests are suddenly, brutally destroyed by circumstances beyond our control, a job loss, the end of a relationship, a health crisis, the passing of a loved one, or the collapse of a cherished plan, it can feel like the absolute end. We are left frightened, desperate, and lost. Just like Pip, we want to give up, to surrender to the overwhelming despair. But the lesson of Pip the Sparrow is a powerful one. These moments of profound loss are not the end of our story. They are often the very motivation we need, the unexpected push that propels us out of our comfort zones and into new territories, leading us to discover greater things, deeper strengths, and more vibrant possibilities than we ever could have imagined. When you find yourself standing amidst the wreckage of a shattered dream, remember Pip. Remember that the seemingly destructive force might actually be the very thing setting you free. Keep your spirits up. Continue moving forward, even when every fiber of your being screams to stop. Rebuild, not necessarily what was lost, but something entirely new, something better, something that reflects the growth you've undergone. For the end of one chapter is never the end of the story. It is always, always a disguised beginning, a powerful invitation to forge a path towards a future far richer, more fulfilling, and more beautiful than the one you left behind. Embrace the journey, for on the other side of loss often lies your truest paradise. If this story touched your heart, help spread the message. Like the video, share it immediately, and hit that subscribe button with the bell so you don't miss the next inspiring lessons. See you again soon.